Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting. All right, coming to you today with lesson 8, and this is how to use sales funnels. So a key thing to remember or to understand is complexity is not a friend in this event. Okay, the more complex your sales funnel, the lower your conversion rates will be. And the reason for this is because in a complex sales situation, there is many variables to account for. Whereas in a simple sales process or a simple sales funnel, okay, it is very simple for a client to move forward. Okay, so I'll go through and I'll explain a bit about it, but basically what we want to do is we want to have, this is my membership lead funnel. So what we have is we've got a self-validation course, and then we've got the sales page where we sell the membership. Okay, so the key is we want the sales funnel to be a simple process where there's a start and a finish and they're clearly defined and outlined. So new lead comes in, okay, from marketing around, would you like to understand and develop self-validation? Would you like to know more about self-validation? And then, do you want to know more about self-mastery? What is the internal game? What's the external game? Okay, and then we've got the offer, which is either they can do a month-to-month membership or they can do a year membership. We've got the inclusions in the offer of what is included in the offer. We've got additional promotions that they can win. And then we've got a bit of information that just outlines what are some of the courses that are currently available and what are some of the courses that are upcoming. What is the LinkedIn private group? What is the one-on-one coaching and mentoring? Okay, so think about it like this. When we're trying to utilize a sales funnel, we don't want to overcomplicate it by having too many different products or different ways that we go about trying to sell the products. Okay, we just want one simple way that we try and do it. We just want a clear journey. So new lead comes in from the marketing, fills out their details, progresses along to the next stage, watches the video, checks it out, $20 a month, easy as, I'll sign up for that. And that's sort of in a nutshell is, think about it like this. When we're utilizing sales funnels, like I've mentioned, there are 3 key things that we have to understand: information, how that information is displayed, and the offer. Okay, so how do we display the information? Would you want someone to see what is included in the offer prior to seeing the offer? Or would you want someone to see the offer and the prices and then see the inclusions? So how do you want your buyer journey to be in that context? Okay, so what would you need to put onto your sales funnel? Okay, so a key thing to remember is, depending on what it is, if it's a product-based offer, okay, then what we want to do is we want to have a bit of product information, and we want to have a journey where we're explaining the product. Whereas if it's a service-based one, we want to have the services being explained, okay, because this is a service-based product. So how I personally do it, I will always have the offer presented before the information, because it is more like it's more of an advantage for me to get the majority of people to see the offer than just have the majority of people see what's included in the offer. Okay, because there's not all too much value, it's more of just descriptive. Whereas in the offer, we're seeing the value of what it would cost us to do and what we're getting. How do we want to present the information? What are the colors that we use? Typically, when looking at colors, red is for something that is bad, green is for something that is good. Blue is usually appealing and neutral. Okay, so typically, like, how are we color coding it? For example, if we had this value stacker here and we had everything just in black writing, it's hard for you to visually discern between the different things. So what we have to do is we have to utilize color, and we have to utilize, underlining different things, different fonts and things like that. So what we want to do is we want to have a clear and concise way that when you look at this offer, you understand, well, what is the price? What is the value that I'm getting? Are there any benefits or anything like that that I get from it? Okay. And how do we move this forward? Okay. So in that context, how do we move this forward? We've got the action to be taken. Do you want a month to month, or do you want a year to year? Okay. Would you like to win this? Is this what you're looking for? Is this what you're looking for? Is this what you're looking for? So it's key to understand that we don't need to overwhelm the buyer in terms of, we don't need to sit there and say this, that, and the other. Find a simple way to explain and demonstrate the value of your product or service, and find a way that you can display it in a way that subconsciously or through color coding we understand. Okay, because everyone understands that red means loss, green means gain. Okay, so that's a key thing to understand. Then we have the terminology: free, 100% satisfaction, money back guarantee. Okay, these terminologies have been utilized a lot in terms of, well, what is 100% satisfaction money back guarantee mean? Well, it means if you're unsatisfied in any way, shape, or form, you can cancel out at any time without any issues. Now, think about it like this. If you've ever had a membership, there are two ways that companies deal with memberships. Okay, and this is very important. So one way is to make it super simple to sign up and then super difficult to leave. Gyms do this all the time. This is the standard of it. The gym model is easy as to sign up. You can sign up in 10 minutes, but if you want to try and quit, oh, well, you've got to give them a month notice. Oh, you've got to come in person and fill out forms. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. So they make it more difficult, because the more barriers that you have to someone quitting, the less likely they are to quit. The downside to this is, by running that business model, you piss off all of your clients. So if someone wants to exit out of your program, product, or service, let them exit out as quick as possible. Like, help them out the door, open the door, push them out, get them out of here. They're wasted time, but the longer they stay in your process, the more disgruntled they will be, and the more negative reviews and things like that you'll get. So if you make it super simple and super easy for someone to leave, the likelihood that they will leave is lower. Okay, because the ones that'll leave were never your buyers to begin with. They just ended up there and they shouldn't have been there. So we don't want to have in our buyers or our client list, we don't want to have 80% of our clients as not our ideal client. Get them out of here. They're useless. They're worthless. If you want to waste all your time dealing with their issues in terms of, they're upset because of this, they're upset because of that, this has happened, that's happened, and you want to deal with that and spend all your time dealing with that, great, more power to you. I encourage you to do that. I would never do that, but I'm encouraging you to do that, because then I don't have to worry about it. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't waste your time on buyers that aren't your ideal buyer. Set up everything to service your ideal buyer. And if people want to leave and say, I'm not your ideal buyer, let them go. Don't even stress for a minute, okay? Don't have a scarcity mindset where you're, trying to hold on to every client that you've got, because it's irrelevant. It's pointless. It makes you less efficient. If you're dealing with your ideal client, you're dealing with people who understand your process, understand your product, that believe in you and your product, and that want to do business with you, rather than trying to keep people who don't want to do business with you in business with you. That's a really bad way to look at it, because you're pandering to the wrong buyers. So you're creating your process based on the wrong buyers, and hoping that your ideal buyers are going to just put up with it. Create your process, create your funnels with your ideal buyer in mind, with your dream customer, and don't worry about the rest. They will either come or they will go. It's no stress. And if you're looking to make every cent you can from every buyer out there, great. I am very, very happy that you want to do that, if that is the case, because I don't have to do that. Trust me, I have worked for many businesses that have done that, and I have wasted hundreds to thousands of hours on clients that never should have been in the process, that never should have, bought the product or bought the service, that didn't want it, didn't believe in it, but got pushed into it. Okay? And the problem with these buyers is they don't follow the process. Now, what I'm talking about is, I've done in property, I've dealt with people that have had 2 or 3 or 4 different contracts running at the same time because they're trying to get the best deal. Legally, when buying a property in Australia, you get one contract at a time. You can't have multiple contracts. It's illegal to have multiple contracts running when you're looking to get lending, because the bank is only going to make one loan to you. Now, it does vary depending on the scale of the customer and the type of the customer. In an investment setting, potentially you can have 2 or 3 deals running at the same time. But in the domestic or the retail sense of it, it's just a waste of time. So, what we're talking about is, if you're in property, that's a 6 to a 12-month sales cycle, depending on, the buyer and the position of the buyer and the market and the, availability of assets and the locations that they want to buy. So if you're dealing, with a long sales cycle or a very high ticket product, you don't want to waste any time on buyers that aren't serious. You don't want to waste any time on buyers that aren't agreeing with the process, that aren't trusting the process, that aren't following the process. This funnel is a path. So in the marketing, allude to, if you would like to perform at a higher level, well, understanding personal development and understanding the internal and external game will really affect, in a positive way, your performance. Okay. And then here's the path to getting there. Here are the courses that you would want to understand to really, really understand the internal and external game. Here is some additional, value by having an exclusive LinkedIn group where there's live, in personal development workshops. There's live professional skill building workshops. There's industry experts there. There's daily skill building content. There's daily personal development content. Connect with a community of like-minded people. You know what I mean? So the value is here. This is the main value, because while having courses and doing courses and getting knowledge is great, if you don't understand how to utilize that knowledge for your own benefit, it's useless. Okay. And that's where the community is more valuable, because the community helps you to understand the utilization of it. So you see, we've got this path to where a lead will come in wanting to understand how to develop themselves at a high level and increase their performance. And then the end result that we're leading them to is that exact outcome. So we align the outcome to their desired results. Okay. And then we make sure that if I'm asking you for $20, I'm giving you over $200 of value. If I'm asking you for $200, I'm giving you over $4,000 in value. Okay. And the reason for this is that's a good deal. If you spend $200 and you get $4,800 back, job done. Life's good. You know what I mean? So things to understand is, like, another way to put this is, if I had on this sales funnel that I'm going to sell you a 2023 Ferrari, whatever one it is, the latest one off the market, and I'm going to sell it to you for $35,000. And it's all authentic, all genuine, and all of that. Every day of the week as a buyer, regardless of if you were interested in Ferraris or not interested in Ferraris, you would understand the value of that deal, because tomorrow you could go out and you could sell it for $100,000 to $200,000. Does that make sense? So the more value that we give and the less we ask for, even if you're not my ideal buyer, it still makes sense to you. If you're my ideal buyer, nothing else makes sense. This is the only path forward. So what we want to do is we want to create out our sales process, or our sales funnel process, one, to mirror our sales process, but two, to appeal to our ideal buyer. And then we try and expand it out to other buyers, because our ideal buyers will give us proof of concept. Our ideal buyers will give us a bit of substance to where other buyers will say, well, oh, these people are getting great results from this program. Why wouldn't I go on that program and check it out? So that's a key thing to understand. But the other thing is we don't want to have too many different actions for a client to take or a buyer to take. There is only one action to do. There is only one action to do. Everything will lead to this. And that's the goal. We want this part of the sales funnel, the offer, to be the hero of our sales funnel. So everything is in support of this offer, because this offer is where we generate income from. Okay. Just to the same, on here, we want everything to lead someone to this. This is the hero offer, because this will generate leads for us. Okay. So understand, like, on your sales page or your sales funnel, for whatever it is, what is your hero? Now, your hero is the action that needs to be taken. So everything else is in support of that action being taken. All right. Well, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.